Okay, welcome guys to High Yield Meds. In this video series, I'll be talking about a lot of diseases and I'll only be talking about high yield associations with them. So it will help you master and ace your exam. Okay, so first I'll be talking about genetic disorders by chromosomes, and in this I'll be talking about 15, right? 15 chromosomes and their associated disease and very good, well, yeah, good mnemonics for it. Okay, so let's begin with chromosome number 3. Let's forget about 1 and 2. Goodbye. So chromosome number 3, we have von Hippel-Lindau syndrome as well as renal cell carcinoma. So why it is easy? Because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So 3 letters in their name and chromosome number 3. Actually, renal cell carcinoma falls under von Hippel-Lindau disease with a mnemonic HARP, where R is renal cell carcinoma and P is pheochromocytoma, but we'll be going in detail in that in later videos. Now let's quickly jump to chromosome number 4. So in this 4, you have to remember a very good scenario. So you are thirsty for beer, right? So you go out for a hunt for 4 kegs of beer. So you go out for a hunt for 4 kegs, kegs, right? So remember this, of beer. These are not important. The important thing is 4 means chromosome number 4, and CAG for kegs of beer is CAG, that is Huntington disease is associated with this is a Huntington disease which is associated with chromosome number 4 and associated with trinucleotide repeat of CAG. And CAG also, well, fortunately means that the caudate loses acetylcholine as well as GABA. Okay, so this is associated with Huntington disease. Very easy, right? Now chromosome number 4 and chromosome number 16, I bunch them together and make a mnemonic for it. Okay, for ADPKD. Remember ADPKD, autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease. In this mnemonic, you have to remember this. What? 4 years to 16 years of age, right? 4 years to 16 years of age is a very bad, it is a very bad time to become a MVP because you'll be spoiled and you will have a kidney disease. So BAD means that there is biliary aneurysm, diverticulosis, and mitral valve prolapse. Also benign hepatic cyst, which is associated with chromosome number 16 with ADPKD type 1, and type 2 is associated with chromosome number 4. Now we have 5, that is familial adenomatous polyposis coli, and familial adenomatous polyposis is associated with very funny FAP. So you have to remember that there are 5. You are fapping till 5 in the evening, you look out the window and you see 5 cats crying. Okay, so FAP, you are fapping in the evening, that is familial adenomatous polyposis 5, right? And you see 5 cats crying. So what does this mean? This means cry of the cat means cri du chat, right? So the cri du chat is a syndrome where it is a genetic disability or genetic disorder where there is high pitched crying or mewing sound. The child is very distressed, they have epicanthic fold, they have cardiac abnormalities, there is intellectual disabilities, right? So, and microencephalopathy. You don't have to remember all those things right now. Just remember that cri du chat is associated with chromosome number 5. 5 cats crying out the window while you are fapping at 5 p.m. Okay. Now 6, extremely easy. Just remember hemochromatosis. Hemochromatosis is hemochromatosis. That is how I remember. Whenever you see hemochromatosis, never say hemochromatosis. From now on, switch that word in your vocabulary and say hemochromatosis. Okay. 7 is a bit tricky. Okay, you just have to remember it by heart. But chromosome number 7 is associated with cystic fibrosis. Okay, so cystic fibrosis, chromosome number 7. 7 cysts. Just remember 7 cysts, right? And cyst is associated with sweat and cyst, right? There is excessive chloride in sweat but not excessive chloride in your lungs or intestine. Okay, we'll go into detail about this. Cystic fibrosis is a very high topic. We'll go into detail about this baby right now, later on. Okay, so 9 you have to remember. I'm going to give you a small story and you will be able to remember everything associated with chromosome number 9 as well as the disease. Okay, in case of 9, we have Friedreich's ataxia. I don't know why they have Friedreich's ataxia. Reichaataxia. Friedreich's ataxia, right? Remember, Friedreich drives an automobile, right? So it is autosomal condition. Autosomal, and there are 9 frat friends. That is 9 frat friends. Friedrich drives an automobile and lives with 9 frat friends, so chromosome 9. Friedreich's ataxia is also a very high yield disease, and we will be talking about detail in further videos. Okay, now second is chromosome 11. Remember, 11 is 11, that is 1 plus 1 equals to 2. 2 is the second alphabet, that is B, and it has beta globulin, GLOB, and beta globin gene defects. Okay, so that is sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia. And another way that I remember is 11 is there are 11 sick men. Sick men, that is 11 sick men, that is men syndrome. Men 1, and sick means sickle cell disease associated with the beta gene globin defect. Okay, now comes to chromosome number 13. Okay, 13 is the time you have puberty. So puberty, Patau syndrome. Okay, in case of puberty we have Patau syndrome, right? There is also Wilson's disease and retinoblastoma, but remember 13 is with Patau. This is the highest yield for chromosome number 13. In case of chromosome number 15, there are a lot of diseases that are very high yield. I don't know if you guys watch Office or not. If you haven't, skip the video and go watch Office. And in there we have Pam, right? Pam. So chromosome 15-year-old Pam. Just remember 15-year-old Pam. In case of P, we have Prader-Willi syndrome. In case of A, we have Engelmann syndrome, and M, we have Marfan syndrome. And I have a mnemonic for each and every one of these diseases, which will help you understand everything, which will come in further videos. Okay. Now, chromosome number 16, we already said is associated with chromosome ADPKD type 1, and it is also associated with alpha thalassemia. The way I remember it is quite tricky. If you keep on writing alpha, you will be writing 6. That's all, right? In case of chromosome number 17, it is very easy. It is associated with neurofibromatosis type 1, which is also known as von Reckling-Gauger disease, and if you count the letters in von Reckling-Gauger, it is 17. And another thing is that 1 plus 7 is 8, 5 plus 3 is also 8, and so P53 is associated with chromosome 17 abnormality. Okay, now the others are, let me just turn it around, chromosome number 18. 18 is the age for election, right? You can vote. And 8, I just remember 8. 18 has 8. 8 is EIGHT 8. So that is Edward syndrome, right? In case of 21, 21 is the legal age for drinking. Although I do not promote drinking, I don't drink myself. I drink water and milk. And 21 is for drinking, and that is for Down syndrome. Right? You drink, you go down. Okay, and then chromosome number 22 is neurofibromatosis type 2. And neurofibromatosis type 2, remember, everything is associated with 2. There is 2 twos, there is 2, there is 2 means bilateral, so there is bilateral acoustic schwannomas, and there is 2 CNS disorders like meningiomas and ependymomas. Okay, and another is DGOG. That is 22Q11, which apparently has a mnemonic CATCH22. Okay, which is associated with cleft palate, abnormal facies, thymic aplasia, that is T cell deficiency, cardiac defects, and hypocalcemia. Okay, now this is for another video. Just remember, neurofibromatosis type 2 is associated with chromosome number 22. Now comes the last one, that is X. It is extremely easy. because it has Fragile X syndrome, X-linked agammaglobulinemia, and another one is the very high one is Klinefelter syndrome. Okay, hear me out on this. Klinefelter syndrome is an X-linked disorder, right? And many people are confused, like what does Klinefelter syndrome has? Is it XXY? Is it not Y? What is it? So it is very easy. To remember Klinefelter syndrome, we have to write X, right? So how can we convert K into an X? So this is a K. If you just move the K around, you have an X, right? So this is an X-linked disease, right? X-linked disorder. And if you see there is X, so one extra X is there. That means there is XY is normal. You have one extra X. And that's all. Yeah, 15 diseases and 15 mnemonics. Hopefully these come in handy. And I know my handwriting is very bad, but hopefully I improve in the later videos. Have a good time and best of luck.